The West Bank, a land steeped in history, a cradle of faith. But beneath its ancient stones and rolling hills, a deeply troubling story is unfolding, one that threatens to erase centuries of Christian presence. Escalating attacks on Christian sites. Recent reports from Christian clerics and international bodies paint a stark picture. Israeli settlers are escalating attacks on Christian sites and communities, especially in Tebeh, the last remaining entirely Christian Palestinian village in the West Bank. The unfolding crisis in Tebeh. Imagine this. Twice, the 5th-century church of St. George and its ancient cemetery have been set on fire. Locals, desperate to protect their heritage, fought the flames themselves. But it's not just sacred sites. Settlers have grazed livestock in olive groves, a lifeline for Tebeh families, destroying trees and blocking access to their land. Homes have been attacked, and chillingly, a billboard was reportedly erected, warning, "There is no future for you here." Roads are blocked, and residents face constant harassment. A systemic threat. Church leaders, including Greek Orthodox Patriarch Theophilos III and Latin Patriarch Pierbattista Pizzaballa, aren't calling these isolated incidents. They describe them as part of an intensifying trend of systemic and targeted attacks. Their fear is clear. This isn't just random violence, it's an attempt to drive Christians out of the very land where their faith was born. Accusations against authorities. And here's where it gets even more concerning. Clerics accuse Israeli authorities of failing to respond to emergency calls during these attacks. They claim the authorities are facilitating and enabling radical settlers. There's a perceived lack of accountability, with investigations rarely leading to prosecutions. Some even suggest Israeli soldiers, often from settler communities themselves, remain passive as these acts unfold. Broader implications and calls for action. This isn't just about Tebeh. It's part of a broader escalation of settler violence across the West Bank since the conflict in Gaza began. Homes, vehicles, crops are burned, lives are endangered, and land is continually confiscated for illegal settlement expansion. The international community is taking notice. The Council of Patriarchs and Heads of Churches of Jerusalem has appealed to the world for action, demanding transparent investigations. Delegates from over 20 nations and the EU have visited Tebeh in solidarity. Even King Abdullah II of Jordan has condemned the attacks, urging a firm international response. The message is clear: these attacks must stop. The Christian presence in the Holy Land is ancient, vibrant, and essential. But without urgent intervention, centuries of history and faith are at risk of being extinguished.